Honorable Men Discord. What's going on with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj? Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and by all means, if you have something you'd like to share pertaining to this episode, I'll see you in the comment section. So, gentlemen, today I have a very, very special guest. All my guests are special, but he's super special, and I'm going to tell you why. He gave me my first shout out for my channel. My very first shout out for my channel. Go to all my platforms. Go to X, go to Instagram, go to TikTok, and of course YouTube. And if you look, he gave me my first shout out. But the reason why it made sense for me to have this gentleman on this particular episode is because he's no stranger to battles and back and forth, controversy. However you want to phrase it, he's no stranger. This gentleman that I have on this episode is hailing from Harlem, New York, right? Which is rich in culture. It's rich in history, rich in style, rich in confidence, swag, known for Rucker Park. But this gentleman here, he represents his brand, No Mercy, No Mercy Harlem, No Mercy TV. I'm going to let him explain to you what exactly it is that he does on his end. But just know he's no stranger to this type of stuff. But I'm going to let him elaborate and speak for himself. So without further ado, you have the floor, brother.
All right. What's good, y'all? Shout out to my man Low, you feel me? Honorable Men Discord. You feel what I'm saying?
No worries, man. A lot of people get caught up with saying it.
Got a little tongue tied there.
Yeah.
But shout out to my boy Low, man. Listen, I'm from Harlem, New York. I go by No Mercy. The tag name and the rap name is No Mercy Harlem. The brand, No Mercy TV. You feel me? I'm originally from Harlem, grew up, Colonial Projects. If you're not familiar, if you know Polo Grounds, that's Colonial is the projects at the back of Polo Grounds. You feel me? 159th. That's my stomping grounds. Polo Grounds, Rucker Park. If you know about Frederick Douglass Academy, they got one of the best basketball teams in the country. I got a cousin that done won a lot of trophies playing ball with them. So, I'm from Harlem for real, not this new gentrified Harlem that y'all probably be seeing. Like, I'm from real Harlem, you feel me? Like post crack era Harlem, and yeah, man, I run a platform, No Mercy TV. I got the Trap New York where I do rap battles. Growing up, I was a big fan of like the Smack DVDs and stuff like that. And I'm just the overall fan of competition. You feel me? I had all the Smack DVDs. And then on the music side, I had all the Street Wars mixtapes. You feel me? So if you're familiar with DJ Pete Cutter, he done did like 20 something of those mixtapes. I had every last one of them because I enjoy the artists getting on wax, battling each other, who could out rhyme the other, who could spill the best tea and all that shit. Like, I like every aspect of just that whole competitiveness of hip hop. You feel me? You can make your music, you can make your little joints for the club and your little freestyles and stuff like that. But when two people clash, that's when it's really like everything on the line. And throughout hip hop,
gladiator sport.
Yeah, we done seen battles where people done lost everything. Like if you look at the early on Cassidy versus Freeway, those kind of battles, it was really like make or break for a lot of people. And that's what overall adds to the mystique of hip hop. Like, you enter these arenas with these battles, it could be all or nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So, that's one of the aspects I respect the most about it. And, it's 2025 and although it's in a different form, as y'all can see, we still are getting battles. I just wish more artists would, jump in the booth and rap as opposed to tweet it all day.
So let me ask you something. What exactly are we dealing with right now with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj? Some say it started with water sports and the song Water
Oh,
Sports.
motorsport.
I said water sports. Motorsports, excuse me.
Water sports.
Listen,
Look, I wish they would do water sports.
you wish they would do water sports. Motorsports, right? Some say
Yeah.
it started with that. First of all, was that on Nicki's album?
Motorsport, I believe,
Or was
was
that
one
on
of
the
the
Migos album?
It was this Quavo Offset, one of them. I confuse them all the time, but it was one of their records, and they got both of them on it. I forgot what the whole controversy was behind it. I think it was a whole one person didn't know the other was on it or something like that. Like
Which
it was
is never a
something
good
crazy.
thing, in my personal opinion. It's never a good thing when tracks are done like that. I think whoever's responsible for the track, whoever's album the track is going on, you should reach out to the artist that you're gonna have featured and just make sure they're aware of it, that they're gonna be on the song
Right.
together, because you just never know if there's any type of friction. So I really don't like when I prefer organic. I want artists, if they're on the song, I want them to be in the studio with me.
Right.
That's how I like it.
I agree with you.
Unless for some reason the schedule doesn't permit that, but even still, I would still let the artist know that, listen, so and so's on the track also.
Right. And I also know the aspect of like sometimes when artists just have songs sitting around and they're like, damn, I wonder if this person would fit on this song or whatever. So you also have that aspect of it sometimes. Like I said, I forgot the exact controversy behind this record, but I remember when it came out, it caused a whole lot of issues. And I was like, damn, these two chicks really do not like each other.
Now, where do you think it stems from? You think it stems from, because I honestly today I just came across something where it seems like Little Kim was speaking on the type of person I think she believes Nicki Minaj is, and basically paraphrasing on what Little Kim said. Little Kim looks at Nicki Minaj as someone that's selfish and wants it all to herself. She doesn't seem like
Right.
the type of person, based on what Little Kim said, she doesn't seem like the type of person that wants to share the spotlight. Do you think that's the issue, the real issue at hand, or do you think it's more than that?
I think it's a combination of things. For one, I do think Nikki does have she's got a slight ego. You from Queens, so
Mhm.
you know
Yeah,
Queens
know.
can have a
I was talking a lot of shit on my Mob Deep episode. Going,
yeah. So
Yeah.
you know Queens, y'all can have a bit of a, you know what I mean.
little
Especially y'all being like growing up, I felt like Queens wasn't quote unquote in the mix, so to speak. Like
Yes.
y'all were always in your own world. So when I say in the mix, I'm talking about that whole uptown, Bronx, Harlem, a little bit of Brooklyn. Like Queens was always kind of like the forgotten borough in a way,
See,
just
and
because.
I spoke about. I'm glad you brought that up. I spoke about that on the Mob Deep episode. It seems like we were like the castaways.
Right.
We were.
So I feel
Go.
like coming from where y'all come from, it's more on some, yo, I got to get to it because ain't nobody else really opening the door for me type shit.
But the thing that's so strange about that, and I definitely want to stick on topic with this, but the thing that's so strange about that is what I mentioned in the Mob Deep episodes. We have so many artists that contributed towards hip hop. Why is it that even with all the names, it's like we're forgotten?
I want to say it comes down to the street aspect because when you talk about the street aspect, Hove said on the song a while ago is I think it was the record La Familia, right? He had it was a one-liner, but it stood out to me. And he was like, real shit chair, Alpo bought his bricks here. Feel what I'm saying? Like I hang on to lines like that. So that tells you Harlem and Brooklyn even was doing business and stuff like that. So when it came to the streets, you don't really have too much of uptown with Queens like that. You feel me? You got little stuff here and there, but I feel like Queens, because Queens is so far out, y'all are kind of forced to kind of be in your own world.
Own world. And that's strange because when you think in terms of Harlem is closer to Queens than it is to Brooklyn. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, yeah, but when you talk about like if you think downtown Manhattan,
Mhm.
like the tunnel and all those kind of areas down there, Soho, Brooklyn used
It's
to
it's easier for you
frequent
guys to meet up.
right. Brooklyn used to frequent those areas a lot, as opposed to Queens, where you got to take two trains and a bus, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was kind of a trek to get out there. So I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's part of the reason why Queens don't get as much love as the rest of the city.
So look, listen. Can this be repaired, or is it, or this is not? There's no chance of them. Because I have a theory on what could work, and I spoke to you about that off air, but I'm going to bring it up
Right.
as we continue.
So so this is the thing, right? Because something like this, there is we know there's a heavy dislike between the two of them. And you got to think about it. This is something that already went to the streets, so to speak. Even though it was real professional. Remember the Met Gala where Cardi threw the shoe at her and all that.
Mm, mm, mm.
And I
Because
think Cardi got
I
beat
was,
up by one of her people's,
and I'm
Raj
glad you brought
Ali.
that up. I do remember that, but I'm glad you brought that up because I was just about to ask you: has this gone further than a Jay Z and Nas? Because Jay Z and Nas never had any type of physical thing, but
This
verbally,
went definitely way
definitely.
further.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like you said, Jay and Nas never went physical. This, however, has gotten there. So it's been physical. It's been diss records back and forth. It's been super crazy social media posts. And where it is right now, the kids done got involved. It's no coming down
All
now.
right, so please educate me on what's been going on specifically now, because I heard kids were being involved, and then I see that Nikki took to social media. She has some things to say about the whole entire Breakfast Club, and I'm looking at it like, for me, I just find this all confusing. I think it's just goofy behavior because they're both successful. They both are doing well. As far as I want to say relationships, I'm gonna give Cardi some credit, I guess. Listen, I'm treading light on this, all right? Because I'll tell you why I'm treading light on this, and I just want to keep this towards about the music and them being competitive. I'm treading lightly on this because I have an opinion on Cardi and a relationship, but it is what it is right now. She has a baby, and so I'm just gonna keep this about Minaj and Cardi, right? And
So
no, go ahead. What you want to say?
so I want to say this, right? And like in terms of how this beef kind of reheated, because it was down for a minute. Like there wasn't really any interaction with them two. I want to say for a few years now. They wasn't really
Which it
having
should
no
have stayed.
words.
The fact that it can't resurface is kind of crazy,
I know Cardi album just dropped.
right?
Am I the drama? And now I told you I didn't get a chance to really listen to it just yet. But from all the stuff I was seeing, she was going at a whole lot of people on this project.
Mentioning
So
names or vaguely.
some name mentions and then some vaguely like Bia, she just flat out got out of here. She was just like, yo, uh gun to your head, name 5 Bia songs. Oops, I'm dead, or something like that. Like she, she
Oh
was
man.
just sending the shots crazy. So I don't know if she happened to send one at Nikki, but whatever happened, Nikki started just immediately going on Twitter, firing up, and just going crazy. She has Nikki's been on the crash out mission for quite a while now, going at Jay
Rock
Z,
Nation, I
going
know
at
about that one.
Desiree.
But that was
Yeah,
about money. That
so
was about millions due or something like that. So I could understand why she went
right.
that way. Actually, I think I
So
did an episode on that also covering that.
yeah, so she's definitely just in crash out mode. So I don't know what Cardi did to have her start crashing out on her, but now we done got to kids being mentioned. She's talking about Cardi kid gums or something like that. Like and they Cardi talking about her kid favorite color is 5 and stuff like that. It's like god damn, like I don't find any of those insults to the kids like funny. I don't find it entertaining because the kids are innocent in all this. Like they have nothing to do with this. Even Nicki Minaj is at the point of attacking the child that's inside of Cardi right now waiting to be born. And it's like, damn, like
Listen,
the baby can't even come out before it's being attacked on the internet. And it's like, what world are we in now?
listen, you know, it's funny. I'll be honest with you. I'm listening to you say that, and I feel like I have to adjust the screen because I'm like, this can't be the battle rap aficionado, because you and I both know in battle it's super disrespectful. I could go through the name. The first name that comes to mind is Arsenal. Super disrespectful. So for you to say that it's gone too far, I'm actually shocked to hear you say that, because it's gloves off when it's in rap battles. And you know how I feel about rap battles. I enjoy watching rap battles, but I would never want to participate in a rap battle because I don't like anybody that close to me barking in my face. Like, it just, I don't even know how people do it. I understand they're getting paid to do it, but I just couldn't. So, but why? What makes this different from what you witness on your own platform or what you see and support? How is this different?
Well,
the disrespect.
What makes this different is, number one, y'all not in the booth for rapping. Y'all not doing it in any type of artistic manner. So, when Arsenal does it, think about it like this, right? Arsenal, because of like how disrespectful he is in battles and stuff like that, right? Nobody has ever put hands on Arsenal. Nobody has ever tried to put hands on him. Nobody has ever really gotten crazy with him because of how disrespectful he gets, because people understand this is what he does. Like, whenever you go to battle Arsenal, you know what to expect. You know that whatever relative died recently is going to get mentioned. Like, this. So with Arsenal, it's become kind of a brand thing within battle rap. It
It doesn't make it less disrespectful. I saw the way he went at Murder Mook talking about his mother, and I'm just like, there's no way. I mean, I don't care what your brand is. There has to be like a limit.
Nah, with Arsenal, it's no limit. And when you brand yourself like that, then it becomes like, okay, I know what to expect when I'm going in the ring with this guy. If you are not prepared to deal with that, then don't agree to battle Arsenal.
Don't take the battle. I agree with that.
Right.
That I agree with.
And again, like I'm saying, it's in an artistic manner now.
It's still for the show.
Arsenal has never went on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that outside of a rap battle disrespecting dead people like that. He's never done that. And that's what gives it an extra layer of like, okay, this is just battle rap. And within the battle rap culture, we do have these discussions often of what's battle rap and what's not and stuff like that. And because Arsenal's been around for so many years doing what he does, it's always been, okay, this is Arsenal. This is what we know him for. If you go watch an Arsenal battle and he's not cursing, not being disrespectful, you paid your money to see that. You're not getting your money's worth, because this is Arsenal. This is what you expect from him.
Right.
But when you're sitting on social media and you're doing this, you have fans hyping this up. You have fans making Photoshops and you reposting them and things of that nature. Once it gets to that, and now the whole world is essentially joining in on this attack on someone's child and shit, that's when it gets corny.
I see what you're saying. And it's just bad for business overall.
It definitely is, because
it's bad for business.
Them two can't be in the same place at any point. So
not that security would let anything happen, but still, it's not a good look.
Well, so security tried to get in the middle last time, and Cardi still ended up getting lumped. She ended up getting lumped up by Nicki Minaj's friend, Ra Ali, I think her name is.
At the gala?
Yeah. Yeah. Cardi had a big old knot on her head. Shorty put the beast on. I ain't gonna hold you. A lot of people ignored that part because Ra Ali is not very well known, but yeah, I seen that picture of that knot on Cardi head. It got bad for her in there.
So let me ask you something now. So my theory on, and to bring this all into relevance of this channel, because I almost didn't even touch on this subject, but again, because you have a background in rap battle, I said this is a no-brainer. We got to talk about this. But I almost
Definitely.
didn't touch speaking on this because, one, just like I chose not to speak on Cardi B being pregnant, I didn't want to touch on this because I don't want to fall in the space of gossip, right? But
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I don't want my brand to be about gossip. So how I'm bringing it into a fold to make relevance to this platform
Mm.
is I ask the viewers, and of course I ask you as my guest, is it the responsibility of the men in their lives? Because neither one of them are single. As far as I'm concerned, I want to say Nicki Minaj is still married, even though there was a point in time, with her not making music, there was rumors that she might be leaving him or she kicked him out. I don't know. And again, I don't want to make this about gossip. So
Right.
as it stands, all I know and all I care to know, because I really don't care about their personal lives, they both have men in their lives. So to bring it into fold on this Honorable Men Discord platform, collaboration, No Mercy TV, No Mercy Harlem, I
Of
ask
course.
you and the viewers, should the men step in, speak to one another, and see if they can get a hold of this? Because these women are both successful. This is just goofy behavior. For someone like myself who's a 9 to 5er, who in between my free time I'm putting together this channel, which I love doing, to see any successful person, and this is not just a Nicki Minaj, Cardi B thing, to be honest with you. When I see successful people, particularly from the black community, the black and brown community, it's I report on it because if it's trending, I'm going to report on it. But do I enjoy reporting on it? No, because it's just ridiculous. We just continue to how do you say it? Fan the flame, and
Right.
they're successful. Many of us that do podcasting and many of us that are viewers of different podcasts, we're looking at these people like they're supposed to be the ones that quote unquote made it. We're not saying they're perfect. I never say anyone's perfect. I say that time and time again on my episodes. We're not looking at
Right.
people, at least I'm not looking at anyone like they're perfect, but they
Of course.
made it. What the hell is wrong with some of these people that they're arguing and they're both Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are super successful. And the situations with obviously Jay-Z, Nas, you got Kendrick Lamar, Drake. I just think it's all goofy behavior because I know it's competitive. I understand the competitive aspect that you mentioned, but when
Right.
it spills over like this, I'm very confused as to why they can't just figure something out and just get to the money. Because I mentioned this to you off air. How crazy would it be for them to go on tour together if they would be able to mend this? And the crazy thing about it, and I always like to, at some point in my episodes, be positive, have a end with a positive message, because there's too much negativity going on in the world in general, not just in rap battles, just in general. Not rap battles. Let me not say that because that's the craft. I'm talking about just in general within the black community. There's too much negativity going on. I'm not understanding how they can't sit down and have a discussion, because I honestly believe, and I know someone might be watching this episode like, oh, you're reaching. I honestly believe at the end of the day, they might actually turn out to be really good friends if they sat down and be like, yo, let's have a kids day where we take the kids out to some place. I honestly believe, as crazy as it sounds right now, or as crazy as it looks, I think the both of them could actually be good friends and be the type of friends that are inseparable, going shopping with each other and having play dates with their kids. Why is that
Right.
so far-fetched? Why is that not something that people are encouraging? I don't know what people are in both of their corners. Why isn't that being encouraged? Why are we seeing this? And I didn't even take time to look at both of their ages, which I will. But going back to what I initially asked, I know I went on a little rant.
Mhm.
Is that a solution for the men in their lives to speak? Because they're not single women. They got men that represent them. Should the men represent them? And if they should, is that a good solution? What's your thoughts on that?
It's one of those things that it's a tough it's a tough task, right? And the reason I say that because number one, we don't know how these men look at each other perception wise. All right, so let me give you a little example. On my battle platform, right? Trap New York, we had a battle. Bonnie Godiva versus Miss Miami. Shout out to both of them, right? And in the midst of the battle, it was some bullshit that happened that went left. And the one thing I regretted that I felt like could have stopped that from happening was, all right, I know how it is when two females are battling, they get disrespectful, they get a little messy, they get all extra, right? Neither of those women were single. I wish that I would have pulled both of their men to the side, which both of them I'm cool with, right? I wish I would have pulled them both to the side before the battle and told them, yo, listen carefully, y'all too. Y'all know what this female battle rap shit is. Y'all know how messy it gets. If at any point these two decide to go left, remember, y'all two are not to attack each other. Y'all two jobs is to separate y'all women and keep the peace and calm them down, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like if I would have had that talk with both of them, shit would have been straight. But I, didn't think to do that at the time. And when shit went left, it ended up becoming, the two men kind of at odds, and, some shit happened and we had to kind of exit the venue and shit like that. It didn't go crazy left. Like nobody got hurt, but little something happened that I won't,
So all right, so I completely understand what you're saying from the standpoint of an in-person situation, because once it spills over, it just, in a matter of seconds, it intensifies, it escalates. I'm talking about the two men in their lives getting on the line.
Right. Now, this is what I'm going to say about this. Remember I was saying, perception-wise, you don't know how these men look at each other, right? So, on one end, the guy that's with Nicki Minaj, I'm going to keep my words nice.
I know. We know.
The guy that's with Nicki, he
represents a certain lifestyle.
Right. Right. He's doing that. And he's also Nicki's husband. They're married. You feel me? That's a different layer.
That's two layers.
Right. Now, when you're talking about Cardi's situation, right, with Stefan is how you say it, right? Stefan Diggs?
I think so. Yeah.
Right. We look at the tabloids and the blogs, right? We know that it's like 2 or 3 women pregnant by this guy right now. We don't know if that same connection is there in terms of, because as the husband.
See, what I thought you were gonna say, and I don't mean to cut you off, but what I thought you were gonna say is it's not the same because one is married, so one has a different commitment, and the other one is not married. But
that's essentially what I'm getting at.
But my thing is, should that even matter? We're talking about two men that are with the woman that they're with, and just having a discussion like, yo, this is crazy. Because my thing is like, then what? Because to again put it into make it relevant to this platform. Mm-hmm. What are the men's position in these women's lives if they're not going to be saying, babe, chill out? Or is it one of those situations? Because, and again, not to make this a platform of being messy, but is it a situation where maybe one man might be like, well, I can't tell her that because she's the breadwinner, and the other man's, and trust me when I tell you, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm not trying to shit on one man over the other. But you're saying, but these dynamics are real dynamics.
And where I started at, I was going to come around to this when we're just talking about the layers of the relationships that we're talking about. That's what makes it difficult, because I feel like, okay, when it's two husbands, I feel like it's easier to get that going because it's just That's all there is. It's two husbands supporting their women, and the two men will get on the line and we neither one of us, want this for our wives. We both trying to keep our women safe. Let's make sure that continues to happen. Let's get them to calm down. But when you have, okay, let's look at the Nicki Minaj situation, right? All right, this is her husband, right? He's repping a certain thing, right? She's the breadwinner, right? So there's that dynamic with their relationship. On the other hand, Cardi, I don't know who's the breadwinner between the two.